Hey guys, what's up? It's Yana. Welcome to day 8 of Camp NaNoWriMo July 2021. You know what went wrong yesterday? Everything. Everything went wrong yesterday, apart from my laptop screen breaking, which I showed you in that tiny non-vlog video thing that I posted last night. Apart from that, I also couldn't get into my Amazon account. It was spitting me out. I couldn't get to my Kindle books that I was trying to read, and I had an issue with the two-step verification process because I don't have the phone that they were trying to send me the code to, because I left that back in the UK, but I wasn't supposed to need it. Oh, it doesn't matter. It was a veritable nightmare, and other stuff happened, and I was arguing with people, and I've also been trying to use my parents' tablet, and that hasn't been going great because I can't properly get into my Zoom account because for some reason it just insists on going into my dad's Zoom account and it just refuses to go to mine. I don't know why. So just one of those days. It was terrible. My mood was also horrible. I don't think you could tell that on the vlog because I was pretty chipper in the morning, and then I was trying to be chipper when I was signing off, but it was just awful. I had like 3 cocktails, and I don't usually drink much. 3 cocktails is a lot for me. So today, it's a new day, so hopefully better vibes. Unfortunately, today is a work day for me, and actually I have to start my lessons for the day in maybe about an hour and a half, so I don't actually have a lot of time to try and do something beforehand. And the other issue is, as I think I mentioned before, when I have lessons in the afternoon, evening, in the second half of the day, I find it very difficult to concentrate on other type of work beforehand, which is a terrible habit because you end up wasting so much time. And even if it's not work, I'm not one of those very super productive people who think they should be working the whole time, but I also can't concentrate on having fun because there's always this thing hanging above me. It's like, oh, but you have a lesson today, but you know, you need, your brain needs to be focused because you have to teach a lesson later, and so I just can't do anything with that day. And I've been trying to fight that and just kind of compartmentalize different kind of parts of the day and not think about what I should be doing later. So I am now heroically going to try and actually do a little bit of work on my manuscript before it's time for my lessons. And do I look really comfortable to you here? Do I? Because let me tell you, it's really not as comfortable as it looks. What's happening is that I'm having to use my mom and dad's, what they use for their desktop screen, but it's not actually a screen, it's a TV. And that's bloody horrible because it is massive. I, in general, don't like working at a desk. I just find it extremely uncomfortable. But the additional problem with working at this desk with this laptop and this screen is that it's high up. You can't see it on camera right now, but it's like, this is where it starts and then it goes up from there. So if I sit at the desk normally, I'm having to work like this, which obviously my neck starts hurting after like a minute and a half. So I'm in this position, just resting my legs on the desk, trying to, you know, support my head and just get close to how I'd usually be when I'm working in bed. Let's turn the TV on because it's been turned off. So what I'm going to try to do is actually read through what I've done so far. So the first 14 and a half, I don't know where I stopped last time, chapters, because the last couple of days have been kind of stressful for no bloody reason. I hate when this happens on days off, when I just want to have fun and be relaxed, and they for some reason turn out to be stressful. But the last couple of days have been stressful, and I've kind of lost sight of the bigger picture of what's happening with this novel. So I'm going to just reread everything. It's all been edited, so it should be a nice, smooth read. Maybe it needs some tiny edits here and there, but there shouldn't be too much. And I'm hoping to kind of get back into the groove into the flow of the story, and then be able to continue from there. Because we're about halfway through, maybe a little less than halfway through the story. And yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do. So let's go, let's see how we do. And I'm done. I've read through the first 14 chapters. Not bad. Not bad at all. I expected to kind of hate the additional chapter that I wrote. It was one full new chapter, and also the additional scenes, because they were kind of just first drafts. They haven't been edited too much. But actually they're really not bad. I think the only problem is that as I read through chapters that are already mostly edited and they read quite well, I keep getting these new ideas on how to do things and make them even more interesting, and I'm gonna have to kind of hold myself back a little bit, because I have this habit of changing earlier chapters a million times, and then I never get to the later chapters. So I'm gonna have to just be a bit more disciplined and edit the second half of the book before I go back and I'm like, oh, but I have this really exciting idea that's gonna make this even better, even though it's okay now and it doesn't necessarily need to change. So I'm gonna try not to do that. But because you've been so sweet and stuck with me through this not very interesting video, as a reward, I'm going to read you the beginning of one of my favorite chapters, which is chapter number, what is it, number 5? No, chapter number 4, which is called The Hospital at Night. And I'll just read you a tiny little bit from it. It starts like this. Many big hospitals are bright and busy places, even at night. But Antwood's hospital was small and didn't have many patients. When darkness fell outside, most of it went dark too. In one of its private rooms, the quiet, rhythmic whirring of monitors and other machines filled the air. A man lay on one of the beds in the room, a little girl on the other. The man couldn't wake up. The little girl couldn't fall asleep. Rumi McCrowan, 11 years and several adventures old, turned in her bed for the 100th time and stared out the window. It was a full moon tonight. Maybe that was why she was finding it so difficult to sleep. Yeah, keep telling yourself that, she muttered to herself. Her voice, although quiet, sounded strangely loud and teary as it cut through the white noise of the medical equipment. The light from the monitors was eerie too. The moon outside was eerie. Everything about this town was eerie. I'm gonna stop there. So, thanks for listening. I will try to just, now that I've read what I've done so far, I'll try to keep editing later on today after my lessons, but I'm probably not gonna vlog that so that I can concentrate a little bit better. Hey, I actually filmed an ending to the vlog much earlier today while it was still light outside. However, I've just finished a lesson with one of my English students and we did something a little bit fun, so I thought I may as well include it. So we've got about 4.5 minutes left. I can make it a bit longer because you were talking to your mom, so
yeah, that's fine.
You saw that little typing clip just now? This was me writing a little tiny snippet based on a prompt. So we were doing prompts with her today. She's working on her spelling and grammar, but I just wanted to make it a little bit more fun so that I didn't just give her grammar exercises. So we did a couple of timed prompts, like little writing sprints, if you will. And I can't unfortunately read you what she wrote because I haven't asked oh my goodness, I'm losing my words, it's the end of the day, asked her. However, I can read you what I wrote, which is rubbish. So we had respectively 15 minutes and 10 minutes to write these. And mine are both not that interesting, but I'm just gonna read them to you because it is writing and this is a writing vlog. And these are terribly loud seagulls. I'm just gonna shut the door. Ooh, there we go. Please excuse my reading because I am tired, and when I am tired I can't speak English anymore, and in the best of times my accent is weird, so that's it. Okay, so the first prompt was, the air turned black all around me, and this is what I made of it. The thief ran ahead of me, darting in and out of sight as I tried to dodge the startled pedestrians who were out for a stroll in the warm afternoon. His agility had caught me off guard. Not 3 minutes ago, he had jumped out the second-floor window of Lady Florentine's bedroom and landed neatly on his feet before dashing off into the crowd. I jumped after him, using my wings to glide down. People gasped. Fairies were still rare in Brisbane, and I usually avoided revealing my identity, but catching the man and retrieving my mistress's jewels was of the utmost importance. I wondered if he knew exactly what he had stolen. Was he aware that he currently held in his hand the key to unlocking the dark dimension? Had somebody sent him? Or was he just a common thug who had decided to rob that particular house by pure coincidence? I followed him away from the main street and into a much narrower, empty alleyway, and then he seemed to vanish into thin air. I looked around frantically. There was nowhere he could have gone so fast, unless... I looked up a second too late. He'd climbed up a streetlight and was grinning down at me. He was holding the necklace. That necklace! Before I could react, he twisted it like a key in the air. The summer afternoon disappeared. The air turned black all around me. The darkness flooded Brisbane, and I knew I had failed. Very dramatic and very silly and full of a lot of cliche phrases, but I was typing very fast. 15 minutes isn't too long. And here's the second one. This one is even worse. I don't know what I was doing here. She did so much better with this second one, and she's 13. But, you know, sometimes that's how it goes. So the second prompt was, the date was 13th of July, my 345th birthday. It would be my last. So this time mine starts with this sentence, so my 345th birthday, it would be my last, and it continues. At least for a while. Birthdays had become pretty boring, so I'd decided I'd start aging backwards. It promised to be a rather fun experience. I was looking forward to getting younger and younger and having reverse birthdays instead. Of course, unlike with aging forward, I would have to be careful not to overdo it. When you are getting older, it's easy to drink the appropriate potion and reverse the process, but if I allow myself to become a toddler, or, saints forbid, an infant, I wouldn't be in control anymore, and unless a kind soul gave me the antidote, I would just continue to de-age until I disappeared. That was the only thing I was worried about. Perhaps I should have paid more attention to what old me was doing, because in my excitement, I grabbed the wrong file. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how I ended up aging sideways, which is not an experience I recommend. How did I get out of this predicament? You will have to read the full story to find out. I would also want to find out how he got out of this predicament and what aging sideways is. The reason I ended it there is because I have no clue either. So I didn't have enough time, this was 10 minutes, so I didn't have enough time to try and come up with what aging sideways even meant, but I think it would be an interesting thing to explore. So this is what I did with my evening. I have another lesson in 15 minutes, so it's time to go. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye!